A plug-and-play surface skimmer. Promise to clean up surface film, collect debris, keep the top level of your aquarium clear. Does it work as good as it says? Hi everyone, it's Connor. Today I want to do an unboxing and review on the UNS Mini Delta surface skimmer. So real quick why I purchased this. So on my 65 gallon, I always had little leaves floating at the top from keeping Anubias nana petite and some species of boost. And occasionally, every once in a while, since it's an open top aquarium, there would get to be some surface film, and I would try to remove it with paper towels, and it would kind of work, but every once in a while, it would kind of reappear again. And now I learned about surface skimmers a while ago, and on my other aquariums, I am using the Seachem Tidal filter that's hang-on back filter, and it actually comes with a surface skimmer kind of on it. It's built into the filter, and I really had almost no floating leaves and debris in those aquariums, so it really helped on those tanks. So I was always curious about having one for this tank. And now there are attachments you can get for canister filters, but the intake tube I have on this kind of doesn't have any attachments put on it, and I didn't feel like going through the process of getting a whole new one just for that. And so I had learned about this skimmer a while ago, and so it's pretty small, pretty compact, it's white, so it looks pretty modern. And then the reviews online are overall very positive. The really only negative parts are that if you have very small nanofish, they can get stuck in it and it can be dangerous for them, but I'll get into that later in my full review. But anyway, I want to walk through the actual unboxing I did of this, setting it up, and then go into my review after using it for a couple months. So real quick, as we get into the unboxing here, the stats on it are, it costs anywhere between $30 to $35. It really depends where you get it. The recommended aquarium size is 8 to 48 gallons. So I'm using a bit larger aquarium, but I really don't need it for the filtration. It's basically just to help get any debris from the top. The flow rate is 66 gallons per hour. And for the size, it's 6 inches tall and 2 inches square on both sides. So now here you see me unboxing it. So on the side of the box, you'll see instructions for how to put it together. It does look a little complex at first with a lot of little pieces, but after you put it together and take it apart a few times, it's actually really simple. Everything fits together very easily and it's not that much. And overall, after you take it out of the box, it is very easy to put together. Everything kind of just fits in very nicely and there's really not that many parts. As far as setting it up and installing it, so yeah, as I said, the first step is just to put it together as you see on the box. Make sure everything fits together well. And then you just want to submerge it in water. I would turn it around a little bit, just get any air bubbles out of it. And then what you want to do is attach it to your glass with the suction cups. And then this top intake, you just want to make sure it's floating. So you'll see it'll adjust to the water level. You'll want to put the actual device a little bit low and make sure this is floating a bit up so that when your water does evaporate, it'll just go down with it and it has enough room. And it actually does extend a pretty good amount. So really, you can extend it up to like 1 inch, I'd say. But otherwise, once you have it on the glass and have it floating at the right level, it's just plug and play. You don't need to do anything else. Just plug it in and it'll turn on. Now, I've been using it for probably almost 3 months now. And so I want to give my review if it solved my problem and the positives and negatives of it and if I'd recommend it in general. So did it solve my problem? Yes, it did. It's been very good at collecting debris. I really rarely ever see leaves floating at the top for very long in this aquarium, and I have not seen surface film at all since I've been using it. So as far as what I wanted it for, it worked very well. And this is even on a tank larger than it's recommended for it. As far as the positives for it, so as I said, it worked for me. It collected debris and I had no surface film since setting it up. And this is about over 3 months. The setup is very simple. It looks a little confusing with all the parts, but it's very simple. And as far as with that, it's very simple to clean. I've cleaned it before too. To clean the skimmer is very simple. The skimmer opens halfway through and then the sponge can be removed and rinsed. The other parts can easily be taken out and wiped down as well or rinsed. I'd recommend wiping down the intake each time to remove any algae or debris to keep it from getting stuck. It does have multiple flow settings. I'm obviously just keeping on the highest flow because I have a larger tank than it's rated for, but it does have 3 flow settings. So if you do want it for a smaller tank, it can help with that. And then lastly, it's just a very modern looking design. It's white, so it looks good on a tank like this. And it's just very slim, very compact, and really for an aquascape tank, I really don't think it's going to detract from the look very much, especially if you have other equipment that's white to go with it. Now, the negatives here is if you don't clean it regularly, it can get clogged, the floating intake. I've noticed as it gets algaed up, it won't be as smooth to float in between it. And I actually had it get stuck, and then it made a lot of noise because it wasn't floating to the proper level. But with that, I'd really just recommend at least bi-weekly maintenance, at least every 2 weeks, if not every week, just to keep it working, functioning. So that is one thing. It is going to take a little time to maintain as any filter equipment, but you just want to make sure you stay on top of this because it will stop floating from my experience. Next is it could use a longer cord. The cord is about 4 feet, I would say, and it works. I think it's more designed, the cord, for when you have more nano tanks. That's kind of what the brand UNS specializes in. And I think it would be fine for that. But when you have a larger tank like this, even if you had a 40-gallon, it really, you kind of have to place your skimmer on the side where your power strip is, because it's really just gonna reach to it, barely making a drip loop. So I do wish the cord was longer just for that, to make a more comfortable drip loop, and then I could position it with more options without using an extension cord. One other negative, which is important to know, is that the skimmer can be dangerous for nanofish. Most of the negative reviews come from people losing small fish that got stuck in the inside of the skimmer. The intake slots are pretty small, but small fish like neon tetras could easily fit inside of it. So I highly recommend to not use this skimmer on any tanks with fish that could potentially fit in the intake slots. This is unfortunate since it is built for smaller tanks, for example ones that are even smaller than 10 gallons as recommended. And so to wrap it up, I did have a few negative things there, but overall it solved my problem. It's been working great. You just really want to make sure you keep on top of the maintenance so it keeps functioning properly. But it's solved my problem. I've had no surface film, and I've had much less debris at the top. And I noticed when I did clean it, there were leaves in there, and it was definitely collecting stuff. So overall, for the price, I think it works very well, and it was very easy to set up. I see myself continuing to use it on this aquarium for the life of this aquarium, and if I ever had another aquarium where I wasn't using a hang on the back filter that had one, or some other skimmer solution, I would definitely probably get one of them for it again. I think it's a nice little tool that's pretty inexpensive. If anyone else has any other skimmer recommendations or any questions I didn't answer in this review, please let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel. Anyway, I'll catch everyone next time.